A national inquiry conducted by the Human Rights Commission heard allegations today that the Immigration Department has tried to cover up damning statistics about the mental health of children held in detention. In sensational evidence, a former chief psychiatrist said he was asked to hide information showing the extent of mental distress among young detainees. The Immigration Department's top public servant also appeared before the hearing and defended the department's actions. Jason Om was at the inquiry for Lateline.
Dr. Peter Young headed Immigration's mental health service up until this month and delivered the explosive evidence in his own quiet way.
We sort of reacted with alarm and have asked us to withdraw these figures from our reporting.
Dr. Young was compelled by the Human Rights Commission under oath.
I beg your pardon?
They asked us to withdraw the figures from our reporting.
Who asked you to withdraw the figures from your reporting?
I'm not sure exactly. It comes from the department.
The figures were based on an assessment of young detainees showing high rates of distress.
It's quite clear that we've got a large number of children with significant mental distress and disorder in this population.
The inquiry heard there were 128 instances of self-harm in the past 15 months, some involving children. One child is said to have harmed themselves 16 times.
Are you aware that some children have tried to poison themselves or ingest harmful substances?
Yes.
Are you aware that some children have tried to choke themselves?
I haven't seen the specific reports.
Are you aware that some children are banging their heads against walls?
Yeah, that's a common method of self-harm.
Immigration's most powerful public servant entered the inquiry defiant, but at times he was met with derision from the gallery.
Sorry, Ms Sharp,
Yes.
can I ask the audience to remain quiet if they're distracting me at the moment?
Certainly, Mr Secretary.
Several times, Martin Bowles contested the line of questioning.
I reject the imputation that we are either misleading or lying to anybody in relation to the reduction of children in detention. There has been a significant and considerable decrease in the number of children in detention.
Currently, there are 659 children detained, down from 1,330.
Mr Bowles, can you tell us a bit about this the allegations of cover-up by Dr Peter Young?
Martin Bowles rejected Dr Peter Young's evidence that medical opinion was overridden by his department. And Mr Bowles told the inquiry he was not aware of any attempt to hide the extent of mental health problems among young detainees.
If in fact there was a problem and some of our staff did an inappropriate thing, I will deal with that. I cannot say that actually happened in that way.
The doctors and medical experts giving evidence all agreed that the detention system is not safe for children. Case after case, the inquiry heard stories of violence, self-harm and abuse in offshore detention. In one of the worst cases, a 16-year-old boy was sexually assaulted by a cleaner on Nauru. Kirsty Diallo was a social worker on Nauru for the charity Save the Children.
He touched the boy's genitals and then grabbed his own genitals and said jiggy jig, and at that point guards were alerted because the young person was screaming out and had kicked at the guard and kicked the cleaner and pushed the cleaner away from him.
Kirsty Diallo told the inquiry of flirtatious behaviour between teenage girls and guards.
And I also had a colleague report to me that he had observed an adult male guard stroking a 15-year-old girl's hair.
To your knowledge and observation, what child protection framework was available at Nauru?
So there's no child protection legislation that exists in Nauru, and there's no child protection authority that exists in Nauru, so the capacity to, I guess, put in place strategies to prevent child abuse, it just doesn't exist.
They're inadequate people, there's no point talking to them.
The Immigration Minister, Scott Morrison, has agreed to appear at the inquiry at a later date. Jason Om, Lateline.